But at the end of the day, if I'm trading time for money, do it matter who the boss is? At the end of the day, I still work for money, right? So if I go punch your clock and try to build your dream, okay, yeah, I'm building your dream instead of my own dream. But at the end of the day, I have to be here to get paid. If I work for myself, I have to be here to get paid. And I have to find my own clients, my own customers. It's more difficult, whatever the case may be. So the real goal is passive income. It's not who the fuck you work for. If you trading time for money, money is the boss. It don't matter who the fuck. If you work for you don't work for you don't work for yourself. You work for money, right? And you can make money work for you. That's what I like. All right, PSA. Battle of the Sexes come back to Chicago. FC Network is bringing Battle of the Sexes back to Chicago, June 18th at City Winery. Battle of the Sexes is a show. It's a debate show. The guys versus the girls. You know what I'm saying? We put a bunch of special guests on stage as well as ourselves. We let the crowd interact a lot. And we just kind of try to see who run this shit. And we try to have a responsible conversations towards the end and see how we can come together and kind of stop the whole like bickering and all the bullshit between men and women right now. Because we do want to unify, but we also got to get some shit settled before that happens, right?
Right.
All right, so I got a guest on the show today. Welcome back to the podcast.
Been a minute.
It's been a minute. It's been like 3 years.
Right.
You abandoned us.
I abandoned y'all?
Yeah.
No.
You're like, right now, you kind of like a deadbeat podcast guest.
Are y'all hearing this shit?
Like, you ain't been showing up for a minute.
Y'all ain't called me.
Niggas was like 1 last time we saw y'all. We like 5 now.
Y'all had me out during the pandemic.
You missed a lot of birthdays.
That's love if I'm coming out during the pandemic.
For sure.
Call me.
You want to introduce yourself to the people, let them know who you are?
Yeah, sure. What's going on, y'all? Peace and love. I'm Ashanti As Hell. I do a lot of things. I'm an erotic poet, film director, producer, clinical massage therapist, model. Did I miss anything?
Did you do the video director thing? You said that?
Yeah, I think I said I was a director, producer, casting director. Gotcha. Yeah, I got a whole entertainment production company.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do art, digital art. So.
You do hair? You did my hair one time?
I did do your hair.
Yeah.
Was that the same day you helped me with my Nintendo?
I don't think so.
He helped me with my Nintendo. Oh my God,
that
was a crazy ass day. Do you remember?
It was a crazy day. Yeah, the dude with the tattoo on the forehead was wilding in the store.
Yeah. I'll never forget. My life it was crazy. It was a movie.
Yeah, I feel like you got me into that situation. Yeah. I've always blamed you for that.
No. I wanted to leave, low key.
No, we had to make sure that little lady was straight though.
I know, she was.
Yeah, we saved the day. Me and Ashanti low key saved the day.
We low key saved the day, and
bit.
I got some free controllers because I don't think she even charged me for that.
Yeah.
She was too scared.
CPD ain't shit. Shout out to y'all though.
Took a long time.
All right. Let's get to it, man. 21 questions. What is 21 questions? All right. 21 questions is a segment of Terry Rose on podcast where I have a young lady, talented young lady, come on the show, whether she's a singer, a dancer, an artist, owns a business, runs a company, whatever the case may be.
I'm all that.
And she gets to ask me 10 questions and be asked 10 questions to let her audience kind of know who she is outside of her brand and outside of the things she does, outside of what she presents on a daily basis. Because sometimes people do want to know the personality of the person who they supporting and buying things from and things like that, right?
Facts.
And then also my audience gets to know new facts about me. So it's a win-win.
Sure.
Everybody eats. 21 questions. Let's go. First question.
Okay.
Where are you on your spiritual journey? And let's just start there. Where are you on your spiritual journey?
Okay.
And what have you learned so far? I think that was the rest of the question. There you go.
Okay. So, yeah, it was something along those lines. Where am I in my spiritual journey? I would say I'm in a really good place.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it took a minute to get here, though, because I had to unlearn and relearn a lot of things about myself, my environment, and the company I want to keep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not like spiritual in like that, what is it? In the way where people overdo their spirituality and try to press it onto people. Like, I still wear crystals.
Oh, you're not a Hebrew Israelite.
I don't be doing too much, because I know that's a lot for people to take in.
Right.
But like I said, I still wear my crystals. I'll be burning my sage. I do my shadow work.
Yeah.
I try to surround myself by like high level thinkers. So.
Yeah.
I would say it's working out.
So yeah, like I feel like I've been in the same frequency as a lot of spiritual women lately. And it's something that I don't fully understand, that I would like to fully understand, because it seems like out of the people who are that way, they have some common traits. It seems like they know who they are more. It seems like those are some of the more confident women that I know. And those are some of the more women who don't really buy into social media too much, which is a big statement to say about somebody, because social media kind of runs the world right now.
Yes, it really does.
Yeah. So like, how did that begin? Like, because I feel like in 2020 was that the vibe you was on in 2020? I feel like this is something that I'm just seeing.
I was getting there. I've always been more spiritual, but I had to really learn my own interpretation for it for myself.
Got you.
Because like I said, it's a lot of different kind of spiritual women, and not all of them are healthy, you know, practicing that. So it looks different with everybody. But yeah, I would say 2020, I definitely started really tapping in. And I'm still in motion with it now.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. Your turn.
Okay, let me pull up my phone. Okay, so your question is...
Hit me. It's a crazy one.
All right. Speaking of social media, if you had to delete all but 3 apps from your phone, which 3 would it be, or which ones would you keep?
Which 3 would I keep? I would keep Mint. That's my budgeting app. It's a good one. Mint.
Yeah. Mint.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, okay. It's a budgeting app. So you could put your... I ain't finna promote y'all niggas. Yes, I am. Fuck it. Well, Mint, you can put your bank accounts on there. You can put your investment accounts like your Robinhood, whatever you invest in stocks in. And you input all your bills. And it like gives you a monthly budget on spending goals. It shows you every time you swipe your card, it's Mint knows. So it's not, you don't have to update it, right? Okay. So every time you swipe your card, it lets you know how much you got left to spend for the week or the month or whatever you got going on. It kind of it keep you up to date with your investments. It just balance everything out.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying? So if you make a new savings goal, it's gonna affect your spending goal. So you're gonna automatically know like, all right, this is what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? So it's dope. It's dope. What else? So Mint is one I'm gonna have to keep. I gotta keep one social media just cause like this shit matters as far as this podcast thing. So if I have to keep one, I'm gonna go with TikTok. And then that last app, Notes. I gotta keep my Notes app. I need that shit.
That is an app, isn't it?
I need my Notes app. That and voice memo. I don't like to get Notes. I'm gonna roll with Notes.
It's crazy because what already is on my iPhone, I always don't consider an app, but it really is because it's like, if I have to go in there and download it, then I'm over here thinking that's the level and extent to it. But I'm like, damn.
I mean, it is a given app. If it was one more like downloadable app, I would go with books. But they give you books too. They give you books?
Yes.
I need books too. I love audiobooks. Yeah.
I've never listened to an audiobook.
Do you sit and read?
Do I what?
Do you sit and read?
No.
You don't read at all?
I don't enjoy reading.
I don't like reading either. That's why I listen to audiobooks.
Yeah.
It takes so much time. Like, I got shit to do. I'd rather like listen to this book and drive and take a shower and
I don't read books cover to cover. There's only a few I've read cover to cover, like the 4 Agreements. But like typically I like people to just get to the point. I don't like all that sauce. Yeah. But audiobooks, I feel like I would be a little bit more critical because now I gotta be invested in your voice.
Yeah,
so I'm just like,
that is the tough part. Like, it's some audiobooks who have great niggas talking. Like, whoever be reading Rick Ross shit, he the GOAT.
Okay,
he the GOAT. Charlamagne did his own book. The Alchemist got a great like
they had to
historical voice. Like, it sounds like a journey and shit.
Right.
Napoleon Hill books are fucking terrible on audio.
Who?
Napoleon Hill.
Oh.
Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, fucking horrible. Great books. Audio versions fucking horrible because of the guy voice.
Yeah. I was actually looking into that earlier this year of trying to put my voice on those platforms and see if I can do, audiobooks, storytelling, or even forms of poetry. I've heard a lot of people.
Let me hear your voice. Let me hear your reading for your audiobook voice.
I need something to read.
You could tell a story about how you got here today.
How I got here today?
Yeah, how you walked through the door and had to use the bathroom and had to piss outside. Yeah, tell that story.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, I'm gonna start with when I got and I pulled up. All right, so no, I can't. I don't know how to do it.
This nigga scared.
I don't know how to do it, but I know that I'll be confident knowing that I'm looking at something. I know the tone that they want it to be in.
I got you.
Yeah,
Let me hit you with the next question. I'm finna say my phone dead. Never.
that would be kind of crazy.
That would be tragic. I'll come off the top though. Fuck it.
You had some good questions.
Thank you. What does success look like to you?
Success looks like on my end, I feel like it's anything that I said I was gonna do and I executed it. So anything from business to family to relationships, even just small tasks. I feel like you can have success in a matter of a few hours to days to years. I feel like when people think about success and they try to minimize it into like this small box of like, okay, I'm only successful if I do this, like, and get to this place in a year or 3 years or 10 years. You could be successful within a day. You just got to execute, and you have to have a plan to execute. So that's what it is to me.
I ain't mad at that because everybody got their own view of success and what it look like, and you have to figure that out.
Yeah.
To be able to move forward and be comfortable with your own life. Dame Dash talk about that a lot. Like you gotta stop letting the world teach you what success is and look at yourself. So this is my opinion of success, and it's gonna sound like this grandiose thing, like the opposite of what you just said.
Okay, hit it.
All right, my definite. What success looks like to me is when I tell like when it's all said and done and life is coming to an end. When I tell the most mind-blowing story I can tell about myself is not attached to another nigga. That's success.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if this podcast was to just go fucking crazy huge and I was to like interview like Kanye, Jay-Z, God, and Barack Obama, like I don't want myself to be about none of them niggas.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because Kanye biggest story ain't gonna be like I got interviewed by Terry Roseland or Jimmy Kimmel or David O'Brien or none of that shit. It's gonna be I was the best at what I did, period.
Right.
Barack Obama was like I was the president. Jay-Z's like I was the best rapper, the most productive, successful rapper ever, period. Not I married Beyonce or none of that other shit. Right? So my most mind-blowing story that I tell, it cannot be connected to another nigga. If that's the case, I'm successful.
I like it though.
Right?
I feel like I resonate with that too. Again, it starts with you and that everyday frequency of how can I be the higher version of myself, and I feel like that's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's your turn.
It's my turn. Gotta unlock this joint every time. Okay. Okay. If you could choose one word to describe your mindset, what would it be and why?
That's a tough one. That's just like when I was reading the questions. I cheated. I saw the questions in advance. When I was reading the questions, I was just like, damn, one word? One.
Yeah. And you read a lot, so.
Yeah. I'm not a vocab nigga though. One word to describe my mindset is progressive.
Ooh. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because anybody that has a lifestyle where it's not progressing, in my opinion, is obviously not. I mean, you gotta think of it like a bank account, kind of. You know, it's just like you could have $100,000, but if you have the opportunity to have interest and you decide not to, it's like it depreciates.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your lifestyle and your character need to be like that.
Yeah, and I just think I'm always forward thinking and trying to like accept new ideas or maybe not even accept new ideas, but entertain new ideas and just shift my mind state all the time. So it's always changing. It's always different. Yeah. I read the shit I was saying on Facebook in 2020 and be like, what the fuck was I talking? I was wilding. Like, what the fuck was I talking about?
You ain't the only one.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I completely disagree with that statement. Like, I would be arguing with a nigga who said the shit that I just said.
Like, and that's okay. Like,
you know what I'm saying? So,
it's okay. You know, that's just your footprint of significance. You know, the fact that you can go back and be able to identify where you were and say, I'm not there no more, that's success too.
There you go. All right. It's my turn. It is my turn.
It is.
If you had a podcast, what would it be about?
I've actually thought about having a podcast, a visual one. So I guess more so like a podcast episodic type of style.
Okay.
I wanted to incorporate like me and one other person, and it would be like a table, and we eating all these really dope exotic fruits. But I would link each fruit to like a memory, or what does this remind you of, or if you eat this fruit, like if you could think of a personality that fits the characteristic of this to another person, like who would it be? So, I just wanted a way to get, especially my Black community, to eat fruit, but also, expand their mind, their vocabulary, all of that. It was really fun. I tried it. It was really fun. But I wanted to have a business sponsor it, like the fruit company sponsor it, but they got a lot of content creators right now. So I'm like, I might have to invest in it for a while myself. But I filmed it, and it was really funny.
Teach me how to get somebody to sponsor some shit. That's what I want to know.
Ask ChatGPT. It'll get you there.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Me and my agent, me and the AI, we worked on it, and it was the bomb.
For sure. I can see myself on that right now. Like, damn, Terry, who does this mango remind you of?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a mango. It would be something like exotic, like a...
Like what? What's exotic? Dragon fruit? Is that exotic enough?
It technically is, but it became commercialized. But yeah, like that would be a good example. Things that you can't typically grow here. Like it would have to grow in tropical islands.
Okay.
It's exotic.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, and you trying something different. Your tongue might itch a little bit, but
I'm cool.
It's gonna be but it's gonna be okay. You get used to. My whole face swelled up, but it went down in a couple of hours, and I felt good. Ooh, you're gonna have. I'm here, so you're gonna have to try it.
No.
Yes. Yes. I'm telling you.
Tongue? No, I'm not.
I know you would like it, and I know it was entertaining because I played it because I was editing it on a plane, and I had people like looking at the corner of their eye. So I'm telling you, you would like it.
Okay. All right, it's your turn.
You'll think about it. All right. Let's see. What's the biggest risk you've taken in your life, and was it worth it?
The biggest risk I've taken in my life, and was it worth it? I had a little phase where the niggas on my block was stealing cars when we was kids. That's what pops in my mind first. I think about that's like the first risk I probably ever took in life.
Okay.
Like some of the dumbest shit I was ever doing in life, right?
Okay.
Was it worth it? I guess it was a great memory. I guess nothing bad happened to me.
Oh,
the
Lord.
nigga who got us into the shit was like 2 years younger than us. I think we was 16, he was 14. Shorty. He got us into the shit, and cause he had like these master keys at the time, kind of similar to what some of the kids got now with the whole what's that shit called? I ain't gonna get into that.
I need to know what's going on.
It's some shit they buy from dealerships, like a keypad that they buy from dealerships to unlock it kind of shit. But
that's how they getting in my shit.
Yeah, you got a key?
Huh?
Nothing. So he had these master keys and shit back in the day. I think he had them like Astro Vans and Chargers. So we was just like breaking in these cars and stealing them and shit. Then we got to the point where we were so thirsty to steal cars that we didn't have the master keys no more. So we were just breaking windows and like stealing cars. Like I don't know how they was rigging the bitches up. But anyway, the nigga who got us into it ended up getting like we was smoking in the alley, and the police like pulled us over, like stopped us, whatever. And he got fingerprinted for the first time. And he got linked to 21 stolen cars.
Damn.
Yeah, never seen a nigga since. Shout out to him though.
Might not ever see him again.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you this. This don't count as my question, but when it comes to the word risk, why is the first thing you thought of as risk related to something negative?
Because I think the positive risk are easier to come back from, so they're not as risky.
Really?
Yeah, like I took financial risk and took like huge financial L's, but I was free. I was able to make more money.
Right.
Jail is different. Like that's a big fucking risk. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Touché.
Fucking your record up. Like the shit is different. So those are the biggest risks to me. The negative shit is way riskier.
Okay.
But I've taken a financial. I think you asked a financial question. I think I might want to say this answer for that. But
Maybe.
yeah, I say my answer for that. Let's go on to my next question.
Okay.
What type of men do you attract, and why do you think you attract these niggas?
I attract every kind of man, to be honest.
Okay.
So it don't matter if you hella wealthy or if you know, not as financially stable, if you ambitious or you ain't got no type of goals at all. I've attracted them all.
What do you think? Okay, what kind of niggas is you attracting the most right now? Like, what keep coming your way? The little Uzi Vert type niggas? Is it
absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not. Damn, I wish I paid attention to who they are. What I will say is I at least know that I'm more so in rooms with very successful men, with very high-level thinkers, with people that are very established in their business. I'm always in rooms or very well acquainted with those men.
Yeah.
But I can't even think of the men that try to entertain me because it has to be reciprocated for me to really know they entertaining me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you. So you ain't paying no attention to these niggas right now, is what she's saying.
Not if
she's saying that she's celibate and her DMs are closed and it's not happening.
DMs be busting. I open every single one. So if you've been left on red, it's very unlikely. I really do respond to like every DM for the most part. But yeah.
Shout out to that.
But yeah.
At least you know you're gonna get a response, nigga. Go ahead and slide them.
Y'all will get a response. You may not like it, but you gonna get a response.
Okay. Your turn.
My turn. All right. Let's see. I really should have just took mine. Okay. If you were a stock, okay, would you invest $10 million into yourself?
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know
doing
how
this
many
shit
people.
For a reason.
Listen, there's a lot of people where I really feel like they have to really think about it. Like, really think, are you able to analyze and assess your value and your worth? And if you were an outsider with that kind of money, would you invest in yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I would.
It's important to know.
I would most definitely invest in myself. I believe in everything that we got going on. And it's fucking evidence of what we doing. So it's not like we just started doing this shit and we just been fucking around.
Right.
Like we got like actual evidence of the attendance at our events improving, at our numbers digitally improving, the quality of our shows going up, the team is growing. Like hell yeah.
I love that for you.
For sure. What we got next, man? Let's see. I keep getting sidetracked on my phone and shit. Who's your favorite poet?
I laughed when I read that because
Are you your favorite poet?
First of all, and then really fun fact, I do not like poetry.
What? I don't listen to podcasts, so there you go.
He gets it. It's just because I was introduced to poetry in different forms, but like the most common one was going to like the spoken words and everything, and it was the cringiest shit I could have ever experienced in my life. And now people that are closest to me, they know I don't really enjoy it. So they'll like send me like those videos of like poets that like enunciate their like verbiage in a certain kind of way, like very like, you know how they be. And they'll send me that shit and I'll be like, nah, you trying to make my day sour because you know I don't like it.
Yeah.
But when I read poetry and if I didn't necessarily hear it in that kind of tone, I love all different kind of poets. I don't have a particular style of poetry that I like more than the other. I'm a huge fan of like Jill Scott, but if you look up Jill Scott, they might not even put that she's a poet. I think poetry is in literally every piece of good quality music. So I'm a fan of music entirely.
Gotcha.
But I am my favorite poet, for sure.
For sure. All right, it's your turn.
All right. Let's see what we got. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. It's like a huge shift. If
Uh-oh.
aliens landed on
shit.
Earth tomorrow, what do you think their first question would be, and how would you answer it?
If aliens landed on Earth tomorrow,
Yeah.
what would their first question be? Probably like, why is it snowing in April?
I'm weak, so they would be here. Okay.
I don't know what they would ask. That's crazy. If I landed on the planet, what's the first thing? What the bitch is that? What's the first thing I would ask?
My God.
Let me see. Can I breathe if I take this mask off? I don't know. That's a great question. And I thought about it before the show. I don't know what an alien would ask. But I had another question about aliens that someone else asked me. So maybe I'll shift it to that. They said if an alien came down and asked me what was hip hop, what song would I play? You think that's a good question?
That's a very great fucking question.
I would play Juicy
Juicy.
by Biggie.
Mm.
That's like the hip hoppest song. Other than Sugar Hill Gang. The hop, like other than that shit, Juicy is the most hip hop shit ever.
No, for real. Like, that was a great time to be a hip hop artist.
The beat, the storytelling, came from nothing. It's like the essence of rap. Like Juicy is like one of the, like, it's not the best song ever, but it's the greatest hip hop song ever.
Damn. I wonder if they're,
to me.
Might have to just have a bunch of questions revolving around aliens and they first day out.
Yeah.
Some T Grizzly shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Wait, don't take that, please. I might run with it.
For sure. You should. But what song would you play?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't know what to play. Like, I don't know if I would do something as easy as Tupac or Biggie or,
Don't play them niggas no Pac. They don't want to hear that shit.
Oh, so we know who you favor.
Yeah, the nigga that can rap.
Oh, my.
I'll fuck with Pac too though.
Y'all gonna have to cut that out. You gonna have trolls. But I wouldn't know what to play. That's a great question. I don't know how to answer that any more than the first question that they would ask. For sure. But really great question.
All right, man. Let's see. Let's keep this shit rolling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh God.
Wow.
You gotta go.
They gonna go back to where the fuck they was at.
They
gonna be like, we gotta be at the wrong spot. That young boy, come on. Ain't nobody trying to hear that loud ass shit. All right. Damn, I forgot the question that fast. What was your happiest moment in life so far?
Happiest moment in life.
Yeah.
Who? Okay. I'm gonna answer this a little bit differently, but it works. I feel like my happiest moments in life are when I usually get that first initial good news or opportunity, whether it lands or not. Those are my most happiest because it's all about the process and journey with me and the fact that people even thought of me to be a part of something.
The gratitude.
Ooh, I'd be so happy. I don't even be mad if it doesn't fall through because I'm that initial. And then outside of that, anytime I'm with my brothers, I really, really, really love my brothers. They probably would have been my kids in another life. So anytime I'm with them, I'll be happy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Yes. What's one thing you wish you could change about traditional gender roles when it comes to parenthood?
Traditional gender role, nothing. I think traditional gender roles, the
parenthood though.
Yeah, I think real traditional gender roles were great. I think that it was balanced, the mom is nurturing, and I think if she's in her feminine energy, that's easy for her and natural for her to do. I think a man in his masculine energy is easy to be a disciplinarian and to stand on top of shit. And I think even providing, even though that's relationship shit, it still affects the child. So, I can't think of anything I would change about. I think we need to get back to that shit. In my personal opinion, whooping ass, not being kids' friends, all that. We need to get back to all that. Not when I say whooping ass too, because I know people be feeling whatever way about that. I feel like you got to be of age to get your ass whooped. I don't think 4-year-olds should be getting their ass whooped.
I never thought about it that way because I definitely feel triggered sometimes when I be seeing little kids get their ass beat or hearing it. But somebody low-key grown, it'd be you needed your ass beat for that because you actually know better. Yeah. Not to say that kids that are 6 and under don't know better, but it's just
Yeah, I think my number
What
is
the
like
fuck?
8. Just so happened my son 8 right now, but I think my number is.
So
I think,
8 is the age of ass whooping.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. Yeah, we whooping ass, G, because you know, nigga, you know
Yeah.
what's expected of you.
I could be open to that idea. And that's like, I gave you 8 years of my best to make sure I mold you into a good person. So if you're still doing shit that I feel like in our house wouldn't make you a good person, you're going to get popped. But I like that age.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you think should change? Because I think it was an interesting question. Maybe wonder how you felt about it as well.
I really agree with what you're saying. Yeah, like I used to try to be a little biased when it came down to like the breadwinner, the protector, the provider, and all of that. But the older I got and the more I felt like I was getting in my masculine bag, trying to play those roles that I feel like is best worn on a man, I ain't like the way it looked.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the masculine Ashanti.
Oh no, I have like, I don't know if you really into natal charts and everything, but like,
You taught me the
right,
giant.
all that. So even my numerology, like I have numbers that are more geared in the masculine lane, but with the right man, like it ain't no problem.
So you got everybody got numerology that gear them
I
in
have a
certain lanes.
numerologist and everything. Like I know myself down to a T.
So if you met a guy and all his numerology was feminine,
Yeah.
is he bitch made? Like what? Like you fucking with him or what?
I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible for that to happen. I don't go into like dates and questions asking, what's your sign, when were you born, what's your numbers? Because 9 times out of 10, they might not even know all that information. But like you gotta really just get to know a person because there's a lot of factors that go into who a person is. But it does start making a little sense when somebody that's a professional breaks it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's my turn?
I think so.
Whose turn is it? It's my turn?
Okay.
What's your safe space?
Physically it's my crib.
Okay.
I deck that shit out.
Yeah.
Like it's, you've been in there.
Yeah.
So I really love
It's
it
very
there.
nice.
It's just warm, but you can go into another room and have a healthy cool in there. So physically, it would be my crib. Mentally, I was thinking about that on the way here, and I'm like, I always feel safe in my mind. I don't have too many dangerous thoughts, and if I do, that's where shadow work comes into play. So, yeah, it's more so where I don't feel safe. But for the most part, I'm always in a safe frequency for myself.
For sure. I think my safe place, this is going to sound strange, but like jumping rope.
Oh, okay. You getting your cardio in. You getting your...
I be in my thoughts. Like, I be in my thoughts. And shitting, too.
I do like being in the bathroom. Like, that's my throne.
I feel like I get all my good ideas when I'm shitting. I don't know if it's like the bullshit is coming out, making room for like...
Holly.
Good ideas to come.
Depends on what you eat, too. If you eating, emotional ass animals...
Yeah.
Shit
For
all
sure.
that out for sure.
For sure. So, yeah, I think jumping rope and taking shits is like.
Yeah. Do you? I didn't even pay attention. Do you have a bathroom with a window?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, those are the best kind of bathrooms.
Don't all bathrooms have windows? No.
Fuck no.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but like, think about it. Those people are limited in the mind because they can't.
So if
can't flow right.
niggas could really enlighten themselves, they just.
They ain't got no window in their room.
That's crazy.
Or their bathroom. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
This is your turn.
All right. Dang, we burning through these, low-key.
I don't know. You can slow it down. Ain't no rush.
If you could go back in time and witness any historical event, what would it be and why?
I really want to know who shot Malcolm X, G. I'm not going to lie.
I
gotta know, G. I gotta know.
Y'all know who shot the good brother.
Man, I be wanting to believe them niggas.
Face?
I want to know the face too, but I be wanting to believe them niggas too, though.
Believe who?
I ain't gonna say them niggas. You can say them niggas' name.
What's why?
I am not saying them niggas' name, man. Shout out to them niggas though, yeah. Alright, but nah, I want to know who shot Martin Luther. I mean, I know who shot that nigga. I want to know who shot Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And I would like to be there for the moment. Niggas hate when I talk about Martin Luther King. I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. I want to be there from the moment where Martin Luther King realized that he was fucking capping with the integration shit.
With what?
Integration. Like he was like, and it's
Lord
crazy because like
you think he thought he was ever capping?
Yeah, he said it in the movie. He said it in Selma. He realized it before he died. That's why they whacked
him.
him.
I ain't watched that.
That's why they whacked him. He realized it and he switched the message. And that's when he started talking about like loving your own hair and he started talking about finances and black people. Oh yeah, get this nigga out of here.
Damn.
That's why they shot him. But nah, he was at a burger spot and he was like, he asked his homie, he was like, damn, we fighting to sit at the lunch counter with the white people, but we can't read the menu and we don't got enough to afford the burger anyway. He's like, I feel like I walked my people into a burning house. I'm like, damn. I wish I was there at that moment. I would be like, I would have muffed. I would have been like, nigga.
I was just about to say, I would have been a problem back then because I definitely would have been rolling with Malcolm X. I have a very rebellious spirit, very warrior-like, so I would have for sure been offed.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm not even gonna fake it. Like, it took bravery either way because walking out there and with any niggas, whether we fighting back or not, like these white motherfuckers, they got dogs, water hoses, all type of shit. So I ain't taking nothing away from either side when it comes to the bravery shit. Now I will say this: I had a grandparent. I ain't gonna say who, but that nigga hated Martin Luther King.
Why?
Hated that nigga because he said that he was. RIP to him, but he said he was just one of those people who accepted the status quo. Honestly. Like, he felt like he traded comfort for freedom. He felt like, okay, shit ain't right, but we good, though. Bills getting paid, niggas got food on the table, shit is cool. Shit is as probably good as it can get. So he felt like, all right, everything's cool. The white folks over there, we over here, we living, we doing our thing. Martin Luther King come through. Nobody called this nigga. Martin Luther King come through, and he started riots around this bitch, and he leave. He gone. He ain't coming back. Now these white folks on our ass for 2 months. They burning motherfuckers' cribs down, busting windows. Like they just really running rampant through our shit because he came through and left. And didn't send no support back and none of that. So he was like, a lot of motherfuckers hated dude.
You know,
nobody call that nigga.
It's not hard to believe. I mean, it's difficult to be a form of a thought leader and to have to have a community that has multiple different mindsets and everything. But yeah, man, it's tough, and I don't know the situation of what it would have been like back then, but I do know I don't really see what's the issue in having your people in one area and, you know, others in another area.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, thrive in your community. And if you want to go over there and be like, what's up, Susan? Go hang with Susan where Susan's be at.
Yeah, we was the only one trying to do that shit, and now we trying to undo that shit. Like, now it's all about like, owning black businesses and fighting against gentrification.
White people for real, or you want to be around what white people like look like as far as like homes and resources and, you know, their living lifestyle. It's like they didn't fucked us up where we think that those things are attached to white people. So they want to be in white neighborhoods. They want to have that kind of white privilege. It's like,
I think that's one of the effects of Martin Luther King is that, like, when niggas did start getting money, the first thing they said is, I want to go live by the white folks. I want to go to the suburbs.
Hell no, y'all niggas need to, excuse me, I don't mean to say niggas, but like y'all, I feel like, not y'all, it was a very fruitful time when the black community was heavily invested back into like farming and being able to work their own land and things like that. You know, you get way more out of it. A lot of people don't know that farmers are like real high in the salary range. That's why they're being targeted right now. For sure.
I need to farm.
I'm telling you, it's the wave. For sure. It's not easy.
It's my turn, right? We talking about the historical event joint. If you had a billboard in Times Square, the big joint, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That big ass TV joint they got?
I think I seen it once in my lifetime.
For a week. What you putting on there?
I ain't put much thought into this question because I really didn't know.
Because you got hella businesses.
I do have hella businesses, and then I got to think about, like, okay, who be passing through Times Square, and is that my targeted audience?
Everybody.
You know? Yeah, but everybody ain't my targeted audience.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when people put that kind of investment into, like, those areas or like billboards and things like that, I don't think they really think about like, well, some people do, but it's just like you got to still know who you want to grab from this. But I can understand the conversion rate though too.
Yeah. Let's think about it's free though.
Well,
It's a free
I
billboard.
understand, but you know, you still got to think of conversion. Like, okay,
Yeah.
even though 2 million people may pass this on average, you know, the conversion of the 5 to 10% that's actually gonna look, and then you got to scale down to like 2% that's actually gonna look it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it got levels. But what would I have? If I did, if I were to have a kind of show that highlighted black men and like what it's not just like for a black man, but for people to see what a true successful black man is and good mental health and good finances, I probably have that John running through there. Because that's the billboard. Is it motion too, or is it just like a still?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I would have that motherfucker playing through there for sure.
For sure.
Like, I need y'all to see that there's a narrative that is false. And it start with y'all. Y'all the most important.
For sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shout out to Ashanti. We fucking with you today.
Oh, I love you too.
It's your turn.
Okay. What we got? All right. I asked that. Okay, this is the financial one. So what's the biggest financial mistake you've made in your life, and what did you learn from it?
Great. So I quit my job in the end of 2021. So I came to 2022 with no job, quit my job. I insulated myself by starting like different businesses. So I had like this print business. I was selling clothes. I got into Turo, renting out cars. I got
Damn, I want to get into that.
I had my building, so I had the tenant, the rent coming out the tenant. I know how to shoot music videos. I started promoting that a little bit, started renting out the studio. And it was something else I was doing. Selling clothes, podcast network. I did a lot of shit, right?
Okay.
And all of this shit started to collapse like at the same time. Like somebody stole the Turo car, crashed it. The printer broke. My tenant moved out. Like all this shit happened like back to back to back. Like as soon as I quit the job, right? Like so all this shit was like lined up. Quit the job, everything tanked at the same time. Like probably like 6 weeks, right? So like I got no income, but I had I ain't gonna say no income, but I had really slow income. But I also insulated myself for credit. So I got like $50,000 in credit, like personal credit cards. I never had a credit card before at the time. Yeah, so I got like $50,000 in credit, and I used that shit because I didn't have a job, and I didn't have like the shit was slow. I thought I was gonna pay back up. It didn't. So I got into a lot of fucking debt, like credit card debt, like just living life. Like I wasn't doing nothing crazy, excessive, but just shit it costs to breathe around this bitch. Like you know what I'm saying? So
Definitely expensive out here.
And I'm thinking like as I'm running this shit up, I'm like, okay, something gonna hit. Woo. Shit didn't hit, end up having to get a job again. So that was the biggest financial L I took and risk I took. Now, what did I learn from it? I learned a few things. Number one, when people say you need 5 streams of income and all that shit, the part they're not telling you is you need that shit to be tied together. Like if you're a chef, you have a cookbook, you do catering, you do personal chefing, you sell pots and pans. You don't be a chef and have a fucking Turo and have a fucking some completely unrelated shit that has nothing to do with each other that you have to promote separately.
Right.
Like so when people say 5 streams of income, make sure that shit is tied in. Now if you want to have, you know, you do this one thing, but you also do real estate and stocks, that's cool too. But definitely some of those other streams of income needs to be tied to what you're already doing. That's number one. That's the biggest thing I learned. The second biggest thing I learned is that I'm a creative. I'm not a businessman. And it's not mean that don't mean I can't do business, but I need to surround myself with people who can, right?
Yeah.
I'm not organized. My ideas, they come and go. Following time schedules ain't really my thing. I might get inspired at 3 o'clock in the morning to do some shit, and I might have no inspiration at 2 p.m. And if I don't have inspiration, I can't do the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that about myself as well. I also learned that like shit, life goes on. Like that shit gonna be cool. Don't fuck with your credit too much. But other than that, like that shit gonna be cool, man. And like, you know, this is another thing I learned. We talk about the entrepreneurship so much and it gets lost in translation. Two things. I learned a lot of shit. Look. All right. So I'm going to say this first. The entrepreneurship shit. We say like, okay, fuck the 9 to 5. I want to work for myself. Working for yourself does have its perks because you kind of get to pick your schedule. Your customers really pick your schedule more so than you do. But you can take the day off when you want, right? That's like the biggest perk. I don't have to ask to be out for my son's birthday and nigga tell me no. That's the biggest perk. But at the end of the day, if I'm trading time for money, do it matter who the boss is? At the end of the day, I still work for money, right? So if I go punch your clock and try to build your dream, okay, yeah, I'm building your dream instead of my own dream. But at the end of the day, I have to be here to get paid. If I work for myself, I have to be here to get paid. And I have to find my own clients, my own customers. It's more difficult, whatever the case may be. So the real goal is passive income. What can I buy and make more money off of it? You know what I'm saying? What I paid for it for. Like, so instead of saying like, you know, how can I make $100,000? And I used to do shit like, okay, if I want $100,000, I got to make this much a month. I got to make this much a week. I got to make this much a day. So let me make this product. And if I sell this many of this product, I'll make this much a day, which adds up to this much a week, which adds up to this much a month, this much a year. Now I got $100,000. Instead of saying like, how about I get my credit to a certain point, save up a little bit of money, buy a building, get a loan, put this much into the building, sell it, and make $100,000, right? And I'm spending way less time, more thinking power, maybe less thinking power, right? It's just like shifting the mind state from like trading your time for money. That's the problem. It's not who the fuck you work for. If you trading time for money, money is the boss. It don't matter who the fuck. If you work for you don't work for you. You don't work for yourself. You work for money, right? And you can make money work for you. That's what I learned as well. And also is a such thing as like, I feel like it's like a positive, negative influence that exists, right? So on social media, I shield myself from a lot of bullshit. I don't follow like blogs. Like I don't be knowing what the fuck going on. When people be like, this person cheated on this person and Nick Cannon on his 17th kid. And did you see his new baby mom? Like, bro, I don't know. Like I have no fucking clue. That's why we don't talk about celebrity gossip on the show, because I'm clueless to the shit, right? So what I do is I really just follow like a bunch of boxing pages and shit like that, but like influencers, people who do things that I want to do. And because that was my input, that's why I was trying to have this printing company and this Turo company, because I saw these niggas doing it and they was like giving like this information on how you could get it done and da-da-da. But now I'm trying to do 5 different things because I'm following these 5 niggas that's really inspired me to do this thing. But like I had to stop and think like, damn, wait. All of these niggas do one thing though. Like the Turo nigga don't do real estate. He just do Turo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to do like all of this shit. And it's a positive like influence, but it ended up being negative in my life because I didn't really register it the right way. Yeah. So that's what I learned a lot from that shit. Yeah.
It sound like it. Yeah, everything you saying is like big gems, and it does shift depending on who it is and what they into. Yeah. You know, you made a point about how you're creative and not necessarily a businessman. Yeah. I do believe that there's a difference between being a creative or innovative mindset, and then there are those who are great with facilitating it, you know, putting it to life for you with the logistics and the semantics. So that's a big one. But yeah, the whole aspect about money, I mean, and time, like I love the podcast Earn Your Leisure, not necessarily with what they talk about, but just the phrase earn your leisure. You know, so converting your time and then still understanding that you need money to be able to leisurely do what you want to do is important, and you have to structure it appropriately. So when you were talking about, you know, I had all these things I wanted to do, but if they don't all align, it could be difficult and time consuming. And it's cool if you a chef and you want to have Toro and then you want to do buildings, but yeah, within each of those tiers, you need to have 3 to 5 things that could make you money within those tiers. So that's a great point. So I'm glad you learned a lot from it.
For sure. There's one more thing I learned. Look.
Break it down.
This is the last thing. A nigga said this white dude said some shit, and it was just like, it made too much fucking sense. He was like, automate the small money and focus on the big money. If you can't automate the small money, fuck it, right? So like we was like selling clothes and shit, right? Like we was selling clothes, and like that wasn't a dream for me. So it was small money. because it couldn't be big money because I wasn't trying to like have a real clothing line. I got homies who got trying to have real clothing lines, so that's like the big money for them. So when I say big money, it ain't about how much you actually making day to day, but it's about like the longevity in it, right?
The bigger picture.
So like for me, it was like, okay, let me automate the sale of these t-shirts and use Printify, some shit like that. And if it don't work, it don't work. But let me spend my time, my thinking power on something huge, because all the time I spend selling these t-shirts, and I think one year I made like 20,000 off like just clothes, like in addition. And I felt great about that shit because it put me at like, that was like my first time making 6 figures in a year, because like my job and then the t-shirts, like whatever the fuck else I was doing. I didn't do 6 figures. I'm capping. I didn't do 6 figures. But I did. I made a lot of money that year. I made a lot of money because of that, because of the clothes. But like all that time I spent printing and selling fucking t-shirts and promoting that shit and all that could have been towards something I could have made $300,000 off of a year from now. Even though I'm not making no money right now because I'm just thinking about it and building it, right? In the long run, that would have been so much more money than like me doing all these small tasks every day to make a little bit of money every day that add up to something decent. But it's like if I could automate that shit and have that shit running on its own so I ain't touching it while I spend my actual brain power on something huge, it makes a lot more sense in the long run.
That's what passive income actually means. I see so many naive posts about like do this and this is passive income. I'm like, if you got to do anything outside of the initial thought and construction to like actually make it work, it's not passive. Like they said something like holding down like garbage cans in the street, like easy to do, make a lot of money. I'm like, that ain't passive. You gotta get up and do it. Yeah. Nah, that's not passive.
And then another thing I learned, look.
Right, come on.
Bruh, I was listening to this. Actually, it was about therapists, so no shot to you, but the white man said this shit.
What kind of therapist?
Massage therapist. So he said this. He was like, let's say a guy sells pens for 50 cents a pen. Pens, like writing pens. Gotcha. He sells pens for 50 cents a pen. And then you have a massage therapist who charges $200 an hour for a session, right? And you're looking at who makes more money. If both companies blow up,
I know which one gonna make more money.
What, the massage therapist?
No, the pens. The
nigga that pens, right? So if both companies blow up and they get 100,000 customers, the massage therapist couldn't do that if they wanted to. So they'll be on their 90th customer next year, right? Right. So they can't get all their money. But if the dude selling the pens gets 100,000 customers, he put the order in, he sell all the fucking pens.
Done deal.
It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like selling products over services is another thing I learned. And that's another easier way to automate some shit to where you could just buy it for this price, promote it. You're more of a promoter than a like you running a whole business. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You marketing the shit and then you sell it. So that was another thing too. And when he said that, I was like, damn, because I think at the time I read that I was like coaching boxing still. And it was just like, it was like, again, trading time for money. Like I could up my price, but at the same time, if my shit blow up, now I'm like, I got to reject customers because I got too much shit to do. Yeah. Versus like creating something that I can just sell. Maybe creating a online webinar box program. I could just record that shit one time and sell it 1,000,000 times. Exactly. So
yeah, that's why anything I do that requires my physical self, it's a non-negotiable. Like it's ain't no room for that because it requires my energy, me to be actually there in the present. So there ain't much wiggle room for that. Even though I'm an entrepreneur and I can bend those rules, like it's different versus if I were to write a poetry book, you know, I may be able to work with different discounts and who I give free books to because it doesn't cost as much, and then you get a higher return faster because I can't get every client from Atlanta and Texas and Cali to come here and get a massage or go out there. Exactly. And the same amount of time I could sell a poetry book to a motherfucker that's in the UK. Exactly. You know, so I get that. For sure. So is my question, my time? Yes. We spent a lot of time on that one. Let me see. For good reason. For sure. What do you need more of in your life? What do I need more of in my life? That's a great question. I like that when I first saw it. What do I need more of? Got me closing my eyes.
Uh-oh. Do we need the Patreon? Are we going Patreon route? Oh, okay.
I don't, what do I need more of? That's a great question.
Thank you.
Because I don't know where to, and it could just be where I'm at mentally, where I'm just like, I really enjoy where my life is and who I'm around and everything. I think what I need more is less about me and more about people. Mm-hmm. I think what I need more is to see more of my people really rooted in the happiness and peace. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I've always known that I was somebody that lives a life based off of how everybody's kind of doing. Not a people pleaser, but just it's I don't know, it's like a internal thing. Mm-hmm. So if I feel like the people I'm around or my community or even the world is just in a better space, it would just make me feel happier too.
For sure.
But not to the extent where it's if the world gone to shit, it damn near did in the pandemic, I was depressed. I didn't go through a depression during the pandemic.
Yeah. The pandemic was actually cool with me. I had no problems with it.
Oh, I ate good.
Yeah,
I watched some good shit.
Your turn.
Love the pandemic, man. Okay. What didn't I ask you? Because I had more than 10 questions. Okay. What's one common misconception about your profession or field that you would like to dispel?
That podcasters don't build shit. No, just we talked about that a couple episodes ago. My profession. So I ain't gonna go to podcasts. I don't think it's no real myths about. You said myths, right? Misconceptions. I don't think it's too many misconceptions about podcasts. It's pretty straightforward. Education. The misconceptions of educators. I think it's a misconception that teachers are supposed to not raise your kid, because I know that sounds cliche, we're not supposed to raise your kid, but we don't get your kids prepared for school. Your job is to get your kid prepared for school and have them ready to learn when they get there, and the teacher's job is to take it from there, right? And I think a lot of times parents drop their kids off not prepared to learn. A lot of parents cuss their kids out right before they get out the car, and I get it, because they just made you late, because they took too long to get out the shower, because they forgot their homework at home. They just irritate the fuck out of you early in the morning, whatever. They spilled jelly all over the shirt you just washed. You know what I'm saying? They just doing kid shit, and it's just irritating the hell out of you, and I don't get it. So you cuss them out. Well, when you cuss them out before they get out the car, they get into school, they have their head down, they're sad. Now they don't want to interact. They don't want to eat breakfast, right? They're not eating breakfast because they're sad. And then they go to class.
When you breaking this down, I'm sorry.
I see the shit all day.
Sensitive, so I be wanting to cry when I hear that shit.
Yeah, so they don't eat breakfast, and then they go into class. They don't really want to, they don't really want to answer questions, things like that. They don't really want to participate. Then about an hour and a half into class, now their stomach hurt because they're hungry because they didn't eat breakfast. Now they really don't want to participate. Now their head is down and things like that. They really don't really snap back into the shit until after lunch. And it happens every day to maybe 30-40% of the kids in school, because parents are mad as fuck. We living in poverty. It's a lot of shit to be mad about. We live in an aggressive, mad city, angry culture. So it's you can literally stand in front of a school building. As a teacher, when I was a teacher, I used to stand in front of the building, and I used to see kids getting out of cars sad as fuck because they was getting cut. Or you could just hear it when that door swing open. Get your motherfucking ass the fuck in that school.
Y'all laughing.
And it is. I mean, it's funny, but it's not. But it happened though, and that happened to us. But it's and the bigger kids kind of what the fuck? We don't care. But them little kids, they be fucked up over that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, then they turn into that numb ass teenager.
Exactly. So I had started a little thing where I was promoting on Facebook, and even at the school I was at, hey, can we stop? Can we say something nice before the kid get out the car? Even if the kid just pissed you off, let's just say something nice. It changes a lot, and it's by lunch, bro, you didn't had your whole reading and math block. You ain't even picking up on the information. You could really fall behind because you sad.
Right.
Especially if it's an everyday thing.
You notice that with just the parents dropping them off. What about the school bus?
Nah, they be cool getting out that school bus. They done kicked it
Cool.
on there and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That'd be
it's
smooth.
just the home environment. See, it's so much work that needs to be done, you know, everywhere in all pillars. And I think, you know, again, it's a mindset thing. Like, I started thinking about having kids like the most these last 2 years. Like, I'm like, I didn't even want to have a conversation about having a kid, you know, in like 2020, 2019.
Yeah.
But now I really, really want them. And I'm just thinking about how difficult it is if you don't have a mindset of like, it's a tribe thing. You know, everything is a tribe. Everybody has a responsibility to these babies.
Absolutely.
In the home, at school, in the streets. So, yeah, it can get selfish real fast, especially, you know, when you start putting roles and responsibilities on people if they don't know what their real role is in the tribe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. It's your turn.
Okay.
Ball in your court.
All right. If you could choose one mentor, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Marcus Garvey. Or Nip. Nip my nigga though. Hold on. Like, I don't know. Nip was gangbanging
Well,
shit. I'm gonna leave Nip
Who
out.
is Nip's mentor? Who is Marcus Garvey's mentor?
Who are they? Marcus Garvey, I don't know. That nigga died 100 years ago. I don't know who his mentor was. And he from Jamaica too. Like, I have no. Maybe it was Cecily. Like, he probably old enough to have met that nigga.
Right.
But nah, like Marcus Garvey, I listened to a fucking recording of Marcus Garvey. I always knew who he was. I always read up on him. I knew he had the ships, he had the newspaper, he had bread. And that was another thing too. It was like he was the civil rights activist that had the bag. A lot of the other niggas didn't have no bag. Like Malcolm, Martin, them niggas didn't have shit. Marcus Garvey had that bag, and he was trying to get niggas to get that bag. And he was trying to get all the niggas to go back to Africa and shit like that. So he was always dope to me. He looked like Benny Siegel. I just always fuck with him. He had the like cool hat. He was on like the nice little cars and shit. And he was unapologetic. It's like, how they let this rich black dude, how they let a black dude be rich in that era, right?
Talking about
Like,
lit.
nah, I'm saying like they was killing, like you know what I mean? Like they bombed Black Wall Street. Like they literally wasn't letting niggas have shit. Like they was killing niggas for having
It's
shit.
just crazy to think
And
about.
not only was he having shit, he was talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I listened to an audio recording from Marcus Garvey. That shit was from, I want to say 1903. I listened to that shit in 2020. It's not like he made that shit in 2020. Because he's saying the same thing we saying right now.
Everything is just a cycle. I mean, I don't always believe everything under the sun is everything under the sun.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing new under the sun, whatever fucking phrase is. But some things are for real.
I just feel like with us, like, you know, with our parents, it was like, get a good job, get benefits, all that. We kind of brought back that entrepreneurship, black-owned businesses, let's separate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when you hear Marcus Garvey talk that shit, it's like, damn, it just to tweak you out that this shit was 100 years ago. It's like literally mind-blowing to hear him saying exactly what everybody is saying right now 100 years ago.
I'm gonna have
Crazy.
to have you send me some stuff because I didn't even know who that was up until the last couple of months.
Marcus Garvey? Really?
Correct. And I'm a pretty educated sister, and I didn't know
I
who
believe
that
so.
was.
Yeah.
I was fucking pissed.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Like,
I mean, they gonna have niggas like him, though. Kwame Ture, Marcus Garvey.
yeah, see, it's like
They had them niggas for sure.
y'all, you know, people will promote, you know, reading and all these authors, and even though they could be profound authors, it's just like, yo, if they ain't written by these profound black people, or at least they stories, I'm not interested.
Yeah. James Baldwin, another one.
Okay.
He was talking crazy.
Send me them.
That nigga was
I like that
talking
energy.
crazy. And he was like a little dude. He was like a little gay black dude. And he was openly gay at that time, and people still followed. Like, you know how that was back then. This was
It's still-
50s, 60s maybe?
Still crazy.
A minute ago. James Baldwin, it's videos of him on YouTube. YouTube James Baldwin. He's in lecture halls at Ivy League schools with like 200 white people. He's the only black person in sight. Talking crazy to these niggas. like really like going back and forth debating race with them. And you know, they saying stuff that's trying to like to be fake irrefutable. Let's say like somebody say something about affirmative action, right? And a white person might say something like, oh well, affirmative action defeats the point, because now as a white person getting passed over for affirmative action, I'm getting discriminated against, and the whole point is to not discriminate based on race. So that sounds like a valid point.
No, it don't.
No, it is not. We know it's not, but it's hard for the average person couldn't find the words to refute that because they framing it so well.
Right.
James Baldwin was eating them niggas alive.
Oh,
every time. I'm like, how's he gonna make it out of this shit? Like, they gonna kill this nigga. Like,
I want to get all them people. Yeah,
James Baldwin, that dude, for real.
Send me the list. Just send me a list of people. I'll do my own research, and then over time, I'll be like, okay, send me more of this person. I love being educated. I love when black men educate me. That's like the best thing ever. Sure. So
love James Baldwin. Yeah. But is it my turn?
Indeed.
Is it my turn? Okay, so this is my last one I got for you.
Cool.
I'm talking about how. Have you ever watched a movie that basically told the story of your life? And what movie was it?
I wouldn't say a movie, no. Nah, they might not ever be able to do that. I got some crazy shit going on every other day. But I would say, ironically, that show Insecure, I mean, it was like as the episodes was coming out, the shit was aligning with me. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So that would be the closest. And it's a show. Okay. So, yeah.
I got a few.
Yeah.
Like Boomerang, for sure. That's
really?
My life. Yes. I'm Marcus Graham Jr. That's my life.
Okay.
She put that 40 on the dresser. That nigga was at a mental breakdown. Yeah, that's it.
Damn.
That's my life. Because it was crazy. Because he just like was like on some player shit. He met his match and he was just like, she hold him.
Got that fat.
What else? What's another one? Boomerang. I want my life to go like Dolomite. I feel like it's going that way. Kinda a little bit. Y'all seen Dolomite? With Eddie Murphy?
I ain't.
Bro, you gotta watch Dolomite. That shit good as hell. But it's like he really like he built this shit from the ground up. He had like this aura. He did like this comedy thing. But it wasn't real. It was kind of like spoken word. It was some fly shit he was doing. He built this whole persona. He really stole this shit from somebody. But he built this whole persona. But he built that shit like from doing it in his neighborhood to going on tour to making a movie to selling the shit nationwide. Like he really built that shit from the ground up. It was crazy. That was like one of the most inspiring movies. I needed to see that movie when I saw that movie.
Damn.
Yeah, it was some inspiring shit.
I might have to check it out.
Yeah.
Dolomite.
Yeah. And then American Pie. No. But that's about it though.
Yeah, see, I'm sure there's like scenes in movies, you know, that I'd be like, damn. That remind me of this time, but nothing
like Scarface.
No,
like that remind you of your shit.
Not fucking bit? Scarface. Well, I don't know, cause when them niggas was trying to like,
it wasn't the coke part, was it?
No, it wasn't the coke part. But you know, no, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, no, nah. I don't even know where my thought was going. You just threw me off.
Right.
But yeah,
you got the last question?
Dang. The last one. What didn't I ask?
What time we on? I feel like this was a long
9:38. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
this is a good one.
What's up?
All right. So what are some daily healthy habits you practice to maintain high physical and mental health?
Daily, every day I wake up at 5. I don't know if that's healthy or not. Probably not. I wake up at 5 every day. I kind of eat the same shit every day. I eat spinach, mushrooms, bell peppers, and salmon. I say salmon. My grandma said salmon. Fuck y'all. I eat that every day. I box. I try to box 5 days a week. It usually end up being 3 or 4 because of just shit that go on. Mm-hmm. But I jump rope a lot. My max is 15 minutes straight, no breaks. I know I could do it because I barely be sweating off the 15 at this point. But yeah, jumping rope, eating pretty healthy in the mornings or throughout the day. I was trying to start drinking. I don't drink enough water. I'm trying to start drinking a lot of water, but that's about it though.
Okay.
You know.
And then that's
I ain't masturbate the whole month of March.
Okay. Well, I do know that has substantial health benefits.
Yes. So. When I did let one off, it was crazy. Like you know how you ever pee for the drug test and you don't fill a cup up enough? I could have filled up a carton of milk. Like that shit was crazy.
Yo.
Yeah, that shit was insane, bro. I would have had triplets off that shit. Like that shit was crazy.
Somebody help me.
One for the man, over pregnant.
Okay. So that's the physical.
For sure.
What about mental? That's key.
I listen to audiobooks. I used to listen to them every day. I fell off of that shit on my win the morning shit. Shout out to all my people who be following the little win the morning movement. But I fell off of the audiobooks a little bit. But that's really my thing though. And again, the jumping rope, bro. I really be thinking. I be getting lost in my thoughts. I think about so much shit, like little problems I have. I feel like I be problem solving while I'm jumping rope.
That's beautiful.
Like, you know, like little shit that might be like, damn, what do I need to do about this? What do I need to do about that? What we gonna do at FC Network? Like, so the jumping rope definitely bring me mental clarity. Cleaning up brings mental clarity.
Absolutely.
That's some real shit.
Yeah.
Like when your mind is cluttered, your house is cluttered. When your house is cluttered, your mind is cluttered. Like it's literally a reflection. When I clean up, I feel so much like that shit is crazy. Like it's a weird thing. And I've always been told that it sounds like the goofy shit in the world. But it's some real shit.
Cleanliness is attached to godliness, you know what I'm saying? And we all God, so it's just like if you ain't washing your ass, washing your crib, you know what I'm saying?
For
Cleaning, not washing, but you know, it's just like nothing gonna be functional. It's a disaster. And I hate to see it, because when I be seeing, I be like, I hope it's just a bad day, because if this your life, I can't be involved. It's treacherous.
For sure. Yeah. I think that's it. Let the people know where to find you.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram. I ain't on too many other social medias. So Ashanti _as _hell. So Ashanti as hell. Just break it up in, the underscores. Yeah, that's where I live and breathe for sure. Social media wise.
For sure.
If you interested in getting a clinical massage, it ain't that soft, cute shit. If you actually have chronic issues, or you're a athlete of any kind, or if you just regular pedestrian out here that just needs some maintenance, I have a suite in the South Loop. It's my suite, so pull up. All of my businesses are in my Ashanti As Hell page. It's in my bio. So from film to massage, I even have my own hashtag for the poetry. Don't listen to it around kids because it's nasty. In a good way. It'll stimulate you, but it's not raunchy, right? It's not raunchy.
It's a little raunchy to me.
No, it's
I like
not.
it though.
It's not raunchy because I'm not raunchy. Okay. But yeah, that's where you can find me for sure.
Okay. All right, man. We're finna wrap it up, bro. That's I'm Terry Roseland. Y'all know I'm at Terry Roseland on all of the platforms. Again, Java XO. I don't think I shout out Java XO this episode. Make sure y'all get some Java XO. It's a stimulant coffee. It's like a coffee honey pack. It definitely stimulates your mind, gets you awake, gets you going, but it's also a sexual stimulant as well. So if you like morning sex, it's definitely the product for you. Make sure y'all check out Killer Cocktails, check out Toy Box NY, Everlasting Fashion, Outliers Fashion, all the FC Network podcasts, and any other black business you can find. Go support somebody, man. Shit hard out.
Fact.
We out.
Big facts as hell.